The year was 3125. Earth was a distant memory, a blue dot lost in the annals of forgotten star maps. Humanity had spread far across the galaxy, carving out its place among alien civilizations, some peaceful, others hostile. But even in this vast expanse, some stories remained buried, until fate decided to unearth them. Dr. Elias Voss was a man of science, not superstition. As a xenobiologist aboard the Stellar Voyager, he specialized in studying ancient alien artifacts and organisms. But nothing in his years of experience could have prepared him for what they discovered on the desolate planet of Carinth. The crew had been tracking a faint energy signature emanating from beneath the planet's icy surface. It was unlike anything they'd encountered, ancient, yet persistent. The locals, a primitive reptilian species, spoke of a legend, a fallen star maiden whose heart had ceased to beat a millennium ago, yet whose spirit lingered, waiting. Elias dismissed the tale as myth. That was, until they unearthed her. Encased in a crystalline sarcophagus, the figure inside was unlike any life form he'd studied. She appeared human, or close enough, pale, ethereal, with hair that shimmered like woven silver threads. But it was her face that struck him. Serene, peaceful, yet, haunted. It was as if time itself had pressed pause on her very essence. The sarcophagus pulsed faintly, in rhythm with the energy signature they detected. Against his better judgment, Elias reached out, placing his hand on the crystal surface. The moment his skin met the cold barrier, a surge of warmth shot through him, and the pulse quickened. "Dr. Voss, step back." Commander Wren's voice crackled in his earpiece, but Elias couldn't move. The connection felt deeper than anything he'd ever known, as if the universe itself had threaded their destinies together. Then, it happened. The crystal cracked, releasing a burst of light that sent Elias sprawling. When his vision cleared, the woman was standing, her eyes glowing with an otherworldly hue. But they weren't hostile. No, they were filled with something else, recognition. "You." Her voice was a whisper carried across the void of time. "You've brought me back." Elias struggled to his feet. Who are you?" She stepped closer, her presence both terrifying and mesmerizing. "I am Seraphine, last of the Ilarian Guardians. My heart stopped 1,000 years ago in the final battle of the Celestial War. But your touch, it awakened me." The crew stood frozen, weapons drawn, but Elias raised a hand. "Wait. She's not a threat." Seraphine's gaze softened. "Not to you." As the days passed, Elias learned her story. The Ilarian Guardians had been protectors of the galaxy, wielding powers derived from the very fabric of the cosmos. But they were betrayed, hunted by an enemy known only as the Voidborn. In a final act of sacrifice, Seraphine had sealed herself away, her life force the key to keeping the Voidborn imprisoned in a pocket dimension. But now, with her revival, the seal had weakened. Elias realized too late what his touch had done. He hadn't just awakened Seraphine, he'd also reawakened the galaxy's most ancient evil. The Stellar Voyager became the first target. As shadows bled from the stars, consuming everything in their path, Elias and Seraphine stood together on the bridge, watching the encroaching darkness. "I'm sorry," Elias whispered. "I didn't know." Seraphine placed a hand on his cheek, her touch warm against the cold dread seeping into his bones. "You didn't just bring me back, you reminded me what I was fighting for." With a sudden surge of energy, Seraphine's body began to glow. She turned to face the Voidborn's growing presence, her eyes burning like twin suns. "But I can't do this alone." Elias felt something stir within him, a connection, a spark. The same energy that had awakened her now pulsed through his veins. Somehow, he was linked to her, to the very power she wielded. "You're not alone," he said, stepping beside her. The final battle wasn't fought with weapons or fleets but with willpower and unity. Seraphine and Elias combined their strengths, their bond becoming a beacon of light against the suffocating dark. The Voidborn shrieked, recoiling as the ancient magic intertwined with human resilience, a force it hadn't anticipated. As the last tendrils of darkness dissolved, Elias collapsed, exhausted. Seraphine knelt beside him, her hand once more on his chest. But this time, it wasn't to awaken him, it was to protect the fragile flame of life he'd risked to save the galaxy. "You gave me a second chance," she whispered. "Now it's my turn." The galaxy would remember the day the Voidborn returned, and how it was defeated not by a legendary guardian alone, but by a human's unyielding heart. "You said